So I wasn't able to get on TikTok for a while. And I'm scrolling through my TikTok feed. And this is the first time where I'm actually able to scroll through it for like at least a day, like for a little bit. And exactly what I thought was going to happen is happening. It's so people are on their own accounts. They're arguing. They're having debates. Oh, like, yeah, words matter. That's why he got killed. I'm like, oh, man. But you know what's funny to me? And I can't let this one go. I remember the energy was so different during the BLM times. I remember the energy. There was people jumping out of every single woodwork to say, no, this is wrong. We should not do violence towards officers. We feel some type of way about this. Please, this doesn't represent us. I remember there was even protests. I remember seeing a protest. I wasn't in it in this particular one, but I remember being on the sidelines. Anyways, I was there. And somebody started chanting some wild shit. Somebody started chanting something. I don't remember what it was. And they stopped them. I seen videos of that. Of the same people that are celebrating now, that are like, yo, things happen. You got to see his rhetoric, this and that. Mind you, these were people that were saying, yo, fuck the police. What was they saying? Something pig in the blanket. I don't even remember the sayings, but I just remember people being like, yo, this is wrong, da 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 da. And this was like every day, nonstop on your TV screen. I remember this was on your screen every day. You'd see somebody down, another person, no, unarmed this, unarmed that. He was holding a cell phone, even like just brutal stuff, Like the person didn't even have to die, just to rough him up and all of that. And y'all jumped out of every single woodwork to be like, nah, we shouldn't. No violence against police. Whatever. That was then. But those same people right now are trying to justify the violence against somebody who just had an opinion. Yo, I would say I hate y'all, but that's a strong word. And, it is what it is. But that energy is so hypocritical. So hypocritical. I remember that energy. I brought this up, and they hate to hear this, but this is the fact. I remember this healthcare CEO. I just said this because, I'm like, y'all are just brand new people. Brand new people. Healthcare CEO, he's down. Oh, yeah, that was great. But here's the reason why I'm even bringing this up. Because when it's your turn, it's going to hurt. And nobody wants to hear anything. And this is why I said I don't think people understand that they're actually calling for a civil war. I said this in the last live, but this is on my heart because I'm looking at all the people on live right now. And, I'm looking at all the people. I got this pain in my back. I'm looking at all the people in the live right now having these arguments, going back and forth. I just want to remind y'all that it doesn't take a policy. It doesn't take a vote. It doesn't take a phone call for civil. We're gonna call civil because I don't want to say that word too much. I'm gonna say CW. It doesn't take one of those things for a CW to happen. All it takes is retaliation. Let's be clear. All it takes is somebody being really upset at the fact that y'all are celebrating what happens. That's all it takes. So every single person that is trying to justify this man's death is literally calling for a CW in real time to the right people. That's the problem. I don't think they understand the gravity of what they doing because I'm not going to lie, shout out, like it's everybody, the women. I'm seeing a lot of video of ladies on there being very celebratory, being very happy about what's going on. I see some fellas too, but everybody I see will not pick up a stick and go fight. Not one of you guys seem like, and not only that, you are putting innocent lives. Because that's the point we at right now. Let's be very clear. We're past all this political rhetoric. People are getting unalive for their political rhetoric. And other people are promising retaliation to unalive other people for their political rhetoric. We are there. So now that we're here, the people that are saying, yeah, this is why it was okay, when it comes to your turn, and that's why I was talking about the BLM stuff earlier, because it was funny. When black people was on that time, you same people was the one telling them, no, violence against police is wrong. This isn't how we solve our problems. We got to vote. We got to do this. We got to do that. The same people that was saying that are the same people that is like, oh yeah, no, it's totally justifiable right now. When they tap back, and I promise you they will, unfortunately. You see, that's the thing. This is new to y'all. This is kind of new to y'all in the sense of like, it's not new in humanity, but in the way it's happening right now, this is really hood culture, that energy bleeding out into the greater society or whatever. There has been an energy of celebrating people's deaths and justifying people's deaths, and that's brand new. I've seen it. I'm old enough. They call me Unc now. I'm old enough to have seen. I remember in my state, we used to wear pins in people's things, no matter what. Even if somebody got killed or something like that, people always respected the dead, no matter what. That energy has now spilled out into greater culture. That's what they're doing right now. That's what they're doing. They're justifying people's death. They're celebrating it. They call it smoking on packs. And so that's what's happening right now with y'all. So this is how it works. This is what's going to happen. Let me tell you how this is going to play out. There's playbooks for this. I know what I'm talking about. This is exactly what's going to happen. Somebody crazy enough is getting highly motivated right now as we speak. Somebody highly motivated right now. And it doesn't even, you know what the crazy part about it is? Because the shooters, it makes it even worse, actually. The fact that the shooters' political leaning standpoints may be obscure. Some people are arguing that he's a liberal. Some people are arguing that he's a conservative. They're like, yo, look, he had pictures. He was hunted with guns. He's a Trump supporter, like whatever. And then they have other pictures of him at the LGBTQ rallies and all of that. You know what makes it even worse? It won't even matter what side he's on. All it matters is who gets upset enough. It won't even matter if y'all think he's a conservative or a liberal. Whoever gets upset enough, they're going to make a move. They're watching videos, and you guys are normalizing this shit and the greater culture, and there's no end to it, because what ends up happening is, it's like, how can you make peace with somebody who just took out your loved one? How can you make peace? You're gonna, at some point, that's what happens across the world. There's gonna, at some point, that the aim, who's in the scope, isn't gonna be the person sitting on the stage. It's gonna be the crowd listening to him. That's what you guys are calling for. Let's be clear. Let's not hold any punches. This is where this goes. The person in the scope will not be the one person on stage talking to the masses. It will be the masses listening to that person. It's going to be a high enough political figure to be like, let's shut this city down. We've been testing how the National Guard works in these locations any damn way. Hold on. Because it gets very deep. It gets very, very deep. It's going to be, oh, you know what? They're going crazy. They just shot a senator. They pulling up to senators' houses? No. Remember when we brought the National Guard out there in 2025 to see how things rock out? Let's do it again now that we know how things are going to... Man, yo, you better stop playing. And you know what? They're also looking at the Trump situation too. They're looking at Trump like, hold on, y'all hit the president, whether or not you think it's fake. Here's the thing. It don't matter what you think about it. It matters what the person who's crazy enough to make a move thinks about it. You understand? And when you make shit like that normalized, then it doesn't matter. So they watched their leader, head honcho in charge, get his ear damn near blown off. They had the flag riled up, fist pumping in the air, the best photo op. That's going to be in every textbook 100 years from now, for actually 5 years from now. And then they see this, the Charlie Kirk, let me tell you, that person probably touched more souls than Trump did, to be honest with you. Because right now it's all about charisma. It's all about influence. It's all about who you relate to more. Trump is just an old white guy in the back, passing things, making shit happen or whatever. But but really the youth is looking for the charismatic younger one. So somebody's looking at like, yo, I don't even care much about Trump as I do about Charlie Kirk. They're watching that and they're gonna tap back. They're gonna tap back and they're gonna feel so justified doing so. They're gonna feel so justified doing so. Okay, y'all are talking to each other. And you know what's crazy? Yep, you see, he was a man of God. So everybody has a stake in this. They're going to be like, oh, they got him because he was a Christian. Christians are up. They got him because he was a conservative. Conservatives are up. They're going to pick anything they want to pick to make it so that they are justified in the hatred that they feel. And let me tell you, remember what I said? I said this in my last video. Pure hatred is born from love. Let me be clear. Pure. If you really hate somebody, 9 times out of 10, that came from love. You seen somebody you love, you rock with, who feels the way you do. You see them get taken out, necks squirting everywhere. So now that love that you had for him just flipped into hatred for the other side and for the people that did that. And now when you generalize, even though you're not supposed to, but you know, you're not thinking rationally, the person who gets mad enough is going to be like, oh my God, look at what the other sides do it. And then their feelings are going to get confirmed by the people. Mostly, I see the ladies out there going crazy on the Charlie Kirk story, laughing, key and saying this is what he get. They're going to see those videos and assume that's how everybody feels. Right now, there needs to be an energy of condemnation. Condemnation on that's the only way you win. We gotta set it, because here, and you know what's crazy? If I'm going to be real with you, I'm not above any of this. I just see that this is the wrong place to put your energy. This isn't it right here. There may be a time where people will need to rebel. And I got to keep it cool. I'm going to keep it cool. Don't worry. I'm not going to go crazy. Shout out to everybody. Please follow. Please follow. There may be a time where people need to stand up and stand out and be like, yo, this is wrong. And I'm ready to do whatever it takes for me to make sure that whoever's in power doesn't do X, Y, and Z for the greater good of the people. There may be a time. Who knows? But Charlie Kirk, somebody who's just having an opinion, everybody needs to stand up against that, because this isn't where that energy is deserved. There's a time and a place for everything. I agree. I'm not saying there isn't a time and a place for everything, but this is not the time nor the place. He was a citizen sharing ideas. He didn't pass any policies that was really messed up that affected you in some type of way. He wasn't putting his knee on your neck. He didn't lock your brother up for 50 years. He wasn't implementing no martial. You know, I got to watch my words carefully, because they're going to think I'm going too crazy on here. I think there's things within this app that if your voice is flexing in a certain way, if you mention too many words, it triggers certain things. So I gotta keep it cool. But you guys are smart. I understand that you guys are smart enough to pick up what I'm putting down. You understand? He is not the cause. He is not the cause for anybody to be like, yeah, good riddance. Nor was the healthcare CEO. And I can say that because when everybody was saying, yeah, F them police officers, whatever, pigs in a blanket, whatever they were saying, y'all was the one telling them to pipe down. So I'm telling you to pipe down. This is not the time nor the place. He's not the reason. He's not the situation. He didn't do anything to anybody but have charisma and stood on what he believed in, straight up and down. Bro, let me train you if you're scared. So jealous. Did it, baby. No more talking. It's been set in motion. And see, look, Tom Wizard. Look at Tom Wizard. Tom Wizard said, and I'm not putting you out there, Tom Wizard. You know, I'm not saying this is what you're saying for yourself, but Tom Wizard says no more talking. It's been set in motion. He's just in my comments saying that, but somebody is living and breathing that right now. Right now, and nobody's making it easier. They're on TikTok right now. I was live 2 seconds ago. I was live. I did my live for the day. Listen, I don't be on here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I drop my gems and I leave. People be on here for 6 hours. Bro, you be lucky if you get me for 45 minutes. You understand? But I was just scrolling through my feed. I'm like, everybody's having debates. Everybody's arguing. Meanwhile, we are all in unison agreeing that this is crazy. This is why I said what I said in the last live. The news media is doing, and social media is doing their absolute best to say, look, The shooter was a Democrat. The shooter was a Republican. Meanwhile, the only reason why anybody's even listening to them and the ratings are going crazy right now is because we are all in agreement that what's happening is crazy and extreme. But they're not going to speak to that fact because, see, when there's unison, when I can tell you, hey, listen, you're a Democrat, and I'm a Republican, or I'm not a Republican, but still, like, just hypothetically, you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican, we're both scared of the same thing, that people are going to start killing people for what they think. Let's talk about that. No. You know what they're going to tell you? They're going to say, look at what the Democrats are doing. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. That's what they're telling you. Fox News, look at what the Democrats are doing. CNN, MSNBC, look, he played with guns. Look at what the Republicans are doing. Meanwhile, we literally are in agreement. This is crazy. And every single one of you people online that are celebrating that man's death, the only way to deal with them is to shame them out of existence. That there used to be a point in time when they would never put their face on social media because the world would condemn them. We need to bring that back, or else they're going to walk us right into a CW. CW, they're going to walk us right into a CW. That's why it's important to flame them. Flame them. Post up. Listen. Like I said, and listen, I'm not above it. That's why I got to keep it cool. I'm not above any of this. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. There's a time and a place. This is not the time nor the place. Save that energy for when hopefully it doesn't necessarily ever matter. But save that energy, God forbid, if it ever really mattered, save it for then. Save it for then. Don't do it now. Not over no Charlie Kirk, somebody who had no policies, well, he might have had influence on your youth or whatever, but or maybe the youth had influence on him. Who knows? But this man wasn't moving and shaking the things that should move and shake you to that point. That's the only, because they're not technically breaking the law. They're not breaking the law when they oh, excuse me, sorry about that. They're not technically breaking the law when they go out there and they say all these horrible things. The only thing that held them back before was social ridicule. That's the only thing that held them back before. And right now, and I don't even, cancel culture, I'm not even subscribed to all of that, but we need a level of decorum for the safety of us all, period. Just so we don't get somebody upset enough to feel validated and being like, oh, that's an audience for a Democratic event. Oh, you guys are at a rally, at a protest, outside in the street? Come on. I agree. Yo, listen, you're on God. Thank you. I thank you. This is what I'm saying. See, giving yourself indigestion. Stop it. Anyway, seriously, listen. We're having a real conversation right now. This is real. That's why we need to stop. That's why we gotta stop. Damn, dog, this light. Hold on, let me turn the light on. I gotta. If I start driving, I don't wanna. Yo, I'm telling y'all, man. I promise you. That's what's happening right now. You're falling right into the trap. Y'all are falling right. Somebody went on my live earlier and said, "Oh, you're trying to get money." I never asked for money on this app. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for money. I mean, everybody needs money, but I'm not sitting on here doing this for money. Everybody else, they're arguing, they're having back and forth. Yo, listen, I'm telling you, don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap. You agree with the Republican that feels like this is crazy. With the average everyday citizen that's tapped in, y'all all agree that this is crazy. You know what I mean? If that's what I'm gonna rack my views up on, then so be it. Somebody got to, because everybody else is trying to act like this was justified, or people are saying one or two things. People are saying, look at what the liberals think. The party of so-called peace is now the part, can we all agree that this is what it is, and blah, blah, blah. And then after that, you have the liberals who, and those of you who are staying silent are kind of complicit in this as well, a little bit. But then you got the liberals being like, hey, listen, man, words have thing. Hey, it is what it is. Sometimes some people got to die. You said something about the two-way, blah, blah, blah. Yo, listen, bro, y'all, that's what they arguing over here. I'm telling you, don't fall into that trap. You agree that this is a crazy situation that can lead, it's a slippery slope. I just told you what would happen. I literally all it takes is a pan down. You know what a pan down is? He's panning up and then he pans down to the audience. That's all it takes. It takes one gesture of going down, being somebody on a building and being like, nah, you know what? Forget the person speaking. Look at all them other people down there. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And then you walk us right into a CW. That's a fact, man. That's a fact. Thank you I can't read everybody's comments, but I appreciate everybody in the building. Please follow. I thought you was a bald. I know, because the light, I know I got to get more light in here. Let me turn my light on. Hold on a second. Let me turn my light on, because this isn't good. Because I really feel, let me tell you something. Yo, I'm not going to lie. I'm not, how do I say that? I don't want to sound cocky, but based off of what I'm seeing right now, I'm literally preaching the gospel right now. Like, these people are leading you into a path of this country, into a path of condemnation. We need to, whatever that word is, we need to come together. We need to come together, bro. We can agree to disagree. But we literally all agree that this is a scary situation. This is a scary slope. And I think it's particularly messed up. The same people that was like, nah, no, because you know why it's messed up? Because you know what the gravity of Sorry about that. Hold on. You know why it's messed up? Because you know the gravity of bringing violence into a situation when it's not warranted. You know the gravity of that. You was telling black people to shut the F up for a long time. Y'all was telling them to be quiet, yo, chill. And now it's like those same people. So it makes it even more messed up, more grimy. You know what I mean? Y'all are just, it's setting this whole country up for failure. Regardless, even if you don't have a dog in the race, at some point, when them shells start flying, everybody gets affected. You know why Israel's doing what they're doing right now? Because a bunch of people felt enough hate and animosity. Well, actually, it takes years and all that. I'm not, whatever. But the fact is, a bunch of innocent people was at a concert doing what they was doing, and then somebody said, that's what happened. And now look, now people are like holding flat, like, yo, now we got to stop. Look at the rubble. And it's crazy. It's bad. I agree. It's crazy. But let's not forget where that started. Is that what you want to happen here? Because that's literally the trajectory. We are literally about to be like Israel and Palestine right now. Actually, I can't even say those words too much because the algorithms will hit me. This is TikTok. This is, even though, shout out to YouTube. YouTube is in the building. I'm re-uploading this on YouTube. If you want to catch this live, it's going to be re-uploaded on YouTube as well. Please follow me. But I'm telling you, October 7th was a setup. Maybe, but it worked. Whether it was a setup or not, it worked. That's why it's better to come in one accord. If you think it was a setup and everybody else thinks it's a setup, that's great. That's a lot better than you and just half of the people who agree with a particular policy thinking that it was a setup and the other people just thinking y'all are crazy. If we can find the common good within each other, not the common good, the common denominator and what we think about, if we can find that, then when you say it's a setup, other people on the other side might believe you because we have come to an understanding before, even if it's an understanding of agreeing to disagree. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Hold on. Who said that? October, FCC, I'm not going to try and pronounce that, but let me repeat that because that's very important. Even if you think October 7th was a setup, the fact that people are so much in disagreement right now, nobody, even if you was telling the truth, nobody on the other side where it matters for that message to get across, nobody will believe you because the hate is too filled up already over there. But if there was a meeting at the minds at some point in time, even in the beginning or whatever, if there was some type of way you guys like had some sort of understanding, or that's why even when countries are about to go to war, there's some sort of behind the scenes diplomatic actions happening. If there was some sort of level of understanding, you might be able to reach somebody on the other side. But because there is none, that you're just telling it to the same echo chamber that's going to say the exact same words right back to you, and it doesn't matter. See, let me tell you guys something. It doesn't matter if you believe it. I keep on saying that this entire life. It doesn't matter if you believe it. It only matters if the other person does. You're trying to convince other people to follow and meet you. Not everybody's going to agree on everything. You know what I mean? But I think people are screaming loud and proud to other people who already believe what they believe in. The only way you're going to get the other side is to come to a level of understanding. And it's almost like we're missing our opportunity right now because everybody's at the understanding that this is crazy. What happened to that man is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like if we could have came, we could use this to come. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm doing right now. As a matter of fact, I'm coming. Like, this is what's happening. We all agree that this is crazy. That's what we need to come together on. And then we could talk about, okay, rhetoric that may encourage that. You know what I mean? Policies that maybe this would be a great time to look at the type of policies and like this. There's a bunch of shit. I'm not a fucking politician or whatever, but at the same time, yo, I know right from right, and I know when y'all are getting played. I know when people are playing the system, and they're playing it right now, man. They playing it so well, so well. But you know what? I'm telling you, don't fall into the trap, man. Don't fall into the trap. It was the Jews. Real Christians know that none of what he even debated about was really in the Bible, y'all. Man. Epstein files will unify the people. That's why they don't want it out. You know what? To be honest with you, maybe, but to be honest with you, you know what's sad? It's kind of sad that somebody's neck exploding isn't bigger than like the Epstein file, like in terms of bringing people together. You know what I mean? Like, because one is coming together off of the fact that, like, for instance, like if we all came together, we'd be coming together off the basis of humanity, of, oh my God, he didn't deserve that. That's so wrong. As opposed to where the Epstein files, if we came together on that, it would be through the hatred of the system and what they did. Like, there's something inherently a little off about that. You know what I mean? Not to say, I don't even think that would happen personally, but even if that was true, if everybody said, yo, you know what? I see the other side, man. We are one nation. All the politicians are horrible. If people came together on that before they came together on just a human factor, just a human basis of somebody's neck exploded in front of their wife and kid just for saying their ideas that they believe, like that would be like, that's a little backwards in my book. Pink app. Sorry, I can't say your full name. That's a little bit backwards in my book, if I'm going to be honest with you. It is sad. It is sad, bro. Like, I'd rather be a people that's more concerned about people than politics. Straight up. Because that's what that would mean. I'd rather be a people that's more concerned about people than politics. At the core of it. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I think that says something about us. Straight up and down. Amen, brother. You lost me at undermining. No. Oh, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. 1996. Hold on. Pull it back. Hold on. I didn't lose you. I'm actually glad you gave me that opportunity. I'm not trying to undermine exposing the PDF files. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying in terms of like I see what you're saying, but I'm not looking at it. People are kind of more so looking at it like, yo, the politicians are sick. This is what they're doing behind the scenes. A lot of people are looking at it on some like extra conspiracy theory shit too. But what I'm saying is like, we should come together for that as well. But it's like, I also feel like in the moment in time, like right when something like that happens, when somebody's neck explodes, like we should come to a quicker, wow, shock, crazy, that's wrong, horrible. You know what I mean? Like, and I agree, like, you know what I mean? Like, trust me, like, I'm not undermining that. I'm not trying to undermine that. And I'm not trying to really, really compare, but like, that, I guess that is what I'm doing. But I guess I'm gonna stand on it. Like that, like we should, like, there's one, like, the pedophile shit is crazy, but I feel like that's been so heavily politicized. It's almost like, yo, let's get these politicians out of here type of shit. Where the other one is more like, yo, that's a human, that's a father, that's a person who just got his neck blown off in front of us. Like it's spicy either way you look at it. But we should have came together on the Charlie Kirk John for sure. Kids were killed that day and many other days. Children are dying. Not even at the grocery stores are safe. Get to the point. School shootings every day, man. That hurts my heart. You know what's crazy? There was one that happened in Colorado the day the Charlie Kirk thing happened. I didn't even hear about it because of it happened in Colorado. I heard like two students and then the Uda himself, he did it to himself. So it's becoming, and actually, you know what? Let's talk about that, because I remember Columbine. That was like the first one. And I remember the shock. I remember it was on the news for like years. Like it was a crazy situation. Everybody was in like the country was in an uproar, right? But now here's the thing. It got normalized. You see what I'm saying? It got normalized, and now it's just like you don't even hear about it if there's another crazy story going on. So it's just like that's exactly what's going to happen on this level if people keep on normalizing the death of people who have no bearings on their lives, no bearings on anything that they do. He ain't taking money out your pocket. He ain't taking food out your mouth. He ain't doing nothing. He ain't taking a roof over your head. He's just speaking what he's speaking, and people are listening. You know what I mean? We're going to get to that type of normalization of people getting gunned down for their political beliefs and political ideology. Just like people are now normalized. It's normalized now every other day. You hear of a school getting ooted up. You know what I mean? But anyways, man, y'all know, listen, and that's another thing, man. Like, y'all know I'm here for a good time, not a long time. If you can catch me on a live, please put your notifications on, because you're not going to catch me. I'm going to be here every day. I'm trying my hardest to be here every day. I'm going to try and be here every day, at least give y'all a half hour, 45 minutes. But nah, bro, like, follow me. Get your notifications on. If you're watching this on YouTube, follow me, because I drop these sporadically and all of that. So please follow me, because I'm about to skate up out of here. I appreciate everybody. Everybody tapped in. Thank you very much. And that's all I got for God. There's nothing, like, you know what I mean? Like, I say what I got to say, and then I read the comments, and then I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to like we're gonna move on, but I gotta fight the rhetoric. You know what I mean? There's too much bullshit going on out there right now. You know. Anyways, I'm out of here, man. Thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Breathe easy, man.